Wake up, rise up, Mell, be on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't just talk, she sparked the flame from 7 to 8. She runs the game, Jamaica to New Orleans and all the world. The vibe don't sleep. Mell B drop gems while the world counts sheep. No fluff, no cap, just facts and fire. Affirmation flow that lifts you higher. Wake up, rise up, Mell B on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't hit snooze, she hits the mic, dropping truth bombs.
Grand rising, my kings and queens, the hustlers, the healers, and the heavy hitters. It's your girl, Mell B, live on Lux Radio Network. It's Tuesday, January 6th, and the Monday hype has settled, which means today is where the real momentum happens. We're shaking off yesterday's and stepping into right nows. So let's get to it. All right, our affirmation of the day is, and I read, I am not defined by yesterday's setbacks. I am refined by them. I am choosing discipline over distraction because I love the person I am becoming. All right, Tuesday is where the New Year's theme can start to evaporate. This affirmation addresses the reality of mistakes or off days. It helps us refrain from failure as refining process, like gold and fire, and focuses on self-love as the primary motivation for staying disciplined. Our word of the day is assiduous, meaning showing great care, attention, and persistent effort. Your assiduous work behind the scenes is what makes your public win look easy. So keep grinding. All right, our phrase origin of the day is pulling out all the stops, meaning to use every available resource or effort to achieve success. This comes from the pipe organ. The stops are the knobs that control the airflow to the pipes. When an organist pulls out all the stops, every single pipe is open, allowing the instrument to play at its loudest, most powerful volume. All right, on to our headline news, starting with New York. Mayor Mamdani signed new executive orders to crack down on junk fees and predatory subscription services, aiming to save New Yorkers money on reoccurring digital costs. Event there today is the King's Day Parade in East Harlem, featuring giant puppets, colorful floats, and live music. In Los Angeles, a federal appeals panel ruled that California's ban on the open carry of firearms is heavily populated in heavily populated counties is unconstitutional. Los Angeles event of the day is Sewing for Adults, book and e-reader sleeves workshop at the AC Bilbrew Library, where locals learn basic textile skills. In Chicago, the Chicago Department of Planning and Development announced new 2026 grants for new neighborhood scale green infrastructure projects. Chicago's event of the day is Lego at the library at the Scottsdale branch, a creative community building session for families. Atlanta, Georgia state legislatures begin final briefings and committee assignments in preparation for the upcoming 2026 General Assembly session. Atlanta's event of the day is Spanish 101 community class at the Buckhead Library, a free language learning session open to all residents. Houston, local energy analysts are closely monitoring global oil markets following U.S. military strikes in Venezuela, which have raised questions about future access to crude services. Houston's community event of the day is Ice at Discovery Green, a seasonal community skating rink featuring the Green Mountain Energy Winter Experience. Washington, D.C. The Treasury Department released updated guidelines for 2026 federal stimulus distributions and tax credit eligibility for middle-income families. Washington, D.C. event of the day is Home History Holidays exhibit at the People's House, showcasing historical White House holiday traditions. Miami. A Miami-Dade native was appointed to lead new regional democracy initiatives focused on supporting civil liberties in Cuba and surrounding Caribbean nations. Miami's event of the day is Thorn Comedy Show in West Miami, a popular local stand-up event featuring regional comedians. Tampa. Florida gas prices saw a slight uptick as the regional workforce returned to full capacity following the extended New Year's holiday break. Tampa's event of the day is Family Story Time at the Arthenia Joyner University Area Community Library. Newport Richey. Good morning, Dad. Pasco County officials announced the expansion of the Richey Suncoast Cultural Preservation Project to include more downtown murals. Newport Richey community event today is the 120th annual Epiphany celebration in nearby Tarpon Springs, featuring the traditional cross dive at Spring Bayou. Milwaukee. Good morning, family. Milwaukee City officials presented a new proposal for the 2026 Urban Greenery Initiative to increase the city's tree canopy. Milwaukee's community event today is Local Live at Anandone Coffee, featuring a live broadcast and performance by the bands Known Moons and Barely Civil. Vancouver. The British Columbia government introduced new housing regulations designed to streamline the construction of multi-unit residential buildings. Vancouver's community event of the day is TD Connecting Communities concert at the Orpheum, a symphonic performance aimed at fostering urban social ties. Toronto. The City of Toronto officially opened its 2026 public budget consultations, inviting residents to weigh in on transit and infrastructure spending. Toronto's community event of the day is Mrs. Doubtfire, the musical, at the Princess of Wales Theatre. Bless up, Jamaica. Kingston. Health officials in Kingston are monitoring a localized rise in respiratory cases following holiday gatherings, though no new mandates have been issued. Kingston's event of the day is Epiphany Church Services, a central community tradition across Kingston's historic cathedrals. Montego Bay. The Jamaican Chief Justice renewed calls for greater judicial control over the national capital budget to improve local court infrastructure. Montego Bay's event of the day is NWC Community Aid Delivery, a National Water Commission outreach program providing supplies to care for homes in St. James. Ocho Rios. Regional tourism boards reported a successful recovery of local beach facilities following the damage caused by Hurricane Melissa in late 2025. Ocho Rios' event of the day is Tivoli Gardens Mural Painting, a creative community project involving local and international artists. Negril. Caribbean Rhodes Scholars published their 2026 priority list, focusing on sustainable development and education reform across the West Indies. Negril's event of the day is Women Ignite Success Summit, a regional leadership and financial empowerment event. Cayman Islands. Legislatures made progress on the PPM district's protection legislation, aimed at preserving the environmental integrity of local coastal zones. Cayman Islands' event of the day is the Turtle Center Education Day, a community event focused on marine conservation and local wildlife. Bahamas. Caribbean Airlines reported widespread flight cancellations and schedule adjustments following the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro. Bahamas event today is the Island Club Adventures, a daily community-led harbor and cultural excursion. Nigeria. The Minister of Information announced that the 2026 national budget is designed to solidify economic gains made in the previous fiscal year. Nigeria's event of the day is the National Security Dialogue in Abuja, hosted by the Social Concerns Organization to improve civil security relations. And Ghana. Opposition leaders pledged to abolish several regressive taxes, including the e-levy, if upcoming policy reforms are not met by the current administration. Ghana's event of the day is Team Strongman Foundation Outreach, a community event in Accra providing music, food, and clothing to those in need. All right, on to our weather this morning. Starting with New York, we have mostly cloudy with few flurries possible this morning with a high of 36 and a low of 28. Los Angeles, sunny skies throughout the day with a high of 62 and a low of 50. Chicago, overcast with a 20% chance of light wintry mix this evening with a high of 39 and a low of 31. Atlanta, a mix of sun and clouds with calm winds with a high of 55 and a low of 41. Houston, partly cloudy and humid with a high of 72 and a low of 58. Washington, D.C., mostly sunny but chilly, high of 47 with a low of 32. Miami, clear and sunny with a high of 78 and a low of 68. Tampa, sunny with low humidity with a high of 74 and a low of 60. Newport Richey, bright sunshine all day with a high of 72 and a low of 59. Milwaukee, cloudy with scattered light snow showers this afternoon with a high of 35 and a low of 28. Vancouver, light rain throughout the morning, turning to mist by the evening with a high of 41 and a low of 34. Toronto, mostly cloudy with occasional snow flurries today with a high of 32 and a low of 25. Kingston, partly cloudy with a brief afternoon shower to be expected with a high of 84 and a low of 75. Montego Bay, sunny intervals and breezy along the coast with a high of 83 and a low of 74. Ocho Rios, partly sunny with high humidity with a high of 82 and a low of 73. And Negril, clear and sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 76. Cayman Islands, mainly sunny with light easterly winds with a high of 82 and a low of 77. Bahamas, sunny and pleasant with a high of 79 and a low of 72. Nigeria, hazy and hot with a high of 91 and a low of 78. And Ghana, partly cloudy and very humid with a high of 89 and a low of 79. All right, on to our sports in the NBA. We have yesterday's final scores as follows. The Pistons over the Knicks, 121-90. The Celtics over the Bulls, 115-101. The Raptors over the Hawks, 118-100. The Hornets over the Thunder, 124-97. The Rockets over the Suns, 100-97. The Nuggets over the 76ers, 125-124 in overtime. The Clippers over the Warriors, 103-102. And the Trailblazers over the Jazz, 137-117. Tonight in the NBA, we have the Cavaliers and the Pacers. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBA League Pass. We also have the Magic and the Wizards, 7 p.m. as well, also on NBA League Pass. There's the Spurs and the Grizzlies at 8 on NBA League Pass. Lakers and the Pelicans at 8 on NBA League Pass. Then we have the Heat and the Timberwolves at 8 p.m. They're going to be on NBC and Peacock and also local news channels. And we also have the Mavericks and the Kings at 11 p.m., also on NBC and Peacock. All right, on to our daily feature of Tell Me Something Good. Our focus today is Black entrepreneurs who hit their first 10K online. So meet Jasmine Taylor, a young Black woman from Texas who turned a $1,200 tax refund into a multi-million-dollar budgeting brand, Baddies and Budgets. She started with printable worksheets on Etsy, no investors, no fancy equipment, just consistency, creativity, and a mission to help people get financially free. Her first 10K month came from one thing: showing up every single day, even when nobody was buying anything. So, good news for you is that we're living in the easiest era in history to monetize your skills. You can sell digital products, ebooks, templates, courses, service, merchandise, audio content, yes, and even your own personality. So if Jasmine can do it from her living room, you can do it from yours. So your first 10K is not a dream, it's a strategy. So put those goals and those ideas in motion. All right, on to our book club where we're reading still The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter Woodson. And today we are on chapter 7, Dissension and Weakness. All right, Woodson exposes how division within the Black community weakens collective progress and how those divisions were intentionally created. So this chapter highlights how internal conflict, classism, colorism, and ego have been used as tools to keep Black people from uniting. Woodson explains that when a community is divided, it becomes easier to control, manipulate, and miseducate. He stresses that the real enemy is not each other, it's the system that benefits from our separation. So, unity is a strategy, healing is a strategy, collaboration is a strategy. Yet, we don't have to agree on everything to move in the same direction. So, keep that in mind. About our communities and what's going on. And a lot of people say, it's, everybody is just for, just for themselves. No, there is logic behind it. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, on to our cause of the day, which is stiff person syndrome, or SPS. Stiff person syndrome is a rare autoimmune neurological disorder that causes progressive muscle stiffness, rigidity, rigidity, I'm not going to get that word right, and painful spasms. It happens when the immune system mistakenly attacks the nervous system, especially the pathways that help control muscle movement. SPS affects about 1 in 1 million people, and symptoms often worsen over time. So symptoms include severe muscle stiffness in the back, torso, and legs, painful muscle spasms triggered by noise, touch, cold, or stress, difficulty walking or maintaining balance, increased risk of falls, heightened sensitivity to sound or emotional distress, and in advanced cases, hunched posture, mobility loss, or even paralysis. So there is no known prevention since SPS is an autoimmune, and its exact cause is still being researched. However, early diagnosis and treatment can slow progression and reduce complications. So if you have any of these symptoms, of course, speak with your doctor. If you would like more information on what it is and any other questions you may have, you can contact the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, which is NINDS. They do research, diagnosis, and they have support information. There's also the Stiff Person Syndrome Research Foundation and also the Cleveland Clinic of Neurology. All those places you can find actually online. Just Google them. All right, on to our history. Today in history, in 1838, Samuel Morse demonstrates the telegraph, revolutionizing global communication. In 1066, Harold II is crowned King of England, setting the stage for the Norman conquest. In 1412, Joan of Arc is born, later becoming a French national hero and Catholic saint. In 1912, we have New Mexico becomes the 47th U.S. state. In 1919, Theodore Roosevelt dies, ending the life of one of America's most influential presidents. All right, on to African American history. In 1831, the first issue of The Liberator is published. William Lloyd Garrison's abolitionist newspaper launches, amplifying Black voices and fueling the anti-slavery movement. In 1966, the Voting Rights Act is strengthened. Congress passes amendments expanding protections for Black voters, targeting discriminatory literacy tests and poll barriers. In 1975, the first Black woman Episcopal priest is ordained. The Reverend Polly Murray becomes the first Black woman ordained as an Episcopal priest and later celebrated as a civil rights and feminist icon. African American scientists and inventors. First up, we have Dr. Marie Maynard Daly, first Black woman in the U.S. with a PhD in chemistry. Her groundbreaking research linked high cholesterol and clogged arteries, shaping modern heart disease science. Second, we have Otis Boykin, pacemaker control unit. Boykin invented the resistor used in pacemakers, improving reliability and saving millions of lives worldwide. And last, we have Dr. Gladys West, GPS mathematics pioneer. Her complex satellite orbit calculations became the foundation of GPS technology, the same system your phone uses to navigate today. All right, on to our Back to Roots. Today we have three different topics. First up, we have Dugan creation story, Amma the creator. The Dugan people of Mali teach that Amma is the supreme creator who formed the universe from a cosmetic egg. Inside the egg were seeds of stars, planets, and life itself. Amma's creation is mathematical, intentional, and deeply symbolic, reflecting the Dugan's advanced astronomical knowledge. Creation is both science and spirit. Next up, we have Akon, concept of Sun Tsun, spirit. The Akon philosophy of Ghana, Susun is the personal spirit that shapes your character, energy, and inner power. It is the force that connects you to your destiny and influences how you move throughout the world. Your spirit is your signature, so protect it. And last, we have the role of griot in West African memory. Griots are historians, storytellers, musicians, and keepers of ancestral memory. They preserve genealogy, culture, and history through oral tradition. When griot speaks, a library opens. So make sure you listen. All right, on to our fact or fiction, where we're continuing this week with strange stories. First up, we have the Man in the Iron Mask. The Man in the Iron Mask was a real political prisoner held in France for 34 years under King Louis XIV, famous because his identity was kept secret and he was forced to cover his face during transfers. He was arrested under the name Eustache Dozé, likely a valet who knew sensitive political information and was moved through several prisons until his death in 1703. Over the centuries, theories exploded, though, from him being Louis XIV's secret brother, Voltaire's claim, to an Italian diplomat named Akole Matiole, but historians still haven't confirmed this is true or his true identity. The Iron Mask was actually black velvet, later exaggerated into metal by legend. So the masked prisoner was real, but his identity remains uncertain. So yes, this was a fact. The second story we have is the Voynich manuscript. The Voynich manuscript is a 15th century illustrated codex written in an unknown script that no one has ever deciphered. Carbon dating places the volume between 1404 and 1438, and the book contains drawings of unidentified plants, astronomical charts, strange bathing women, cosmological diagrams, and what looked like herbal recipes. Its language, called Vodnichese, has resisted all attempts at decoding, including by top World War II code breakers. Theories range from it being a natural language, a cipher, a constructed language, or even a medieval hoax, but none have been proven. It's now housed in Yale's Beinecke Library. So no one has ever decoded the language, and its purpose remains a mystery. So yes, this is a fact, but it's still being, they're still trying to figure it out. And last, we have the phantom time hypothesis. The phantom time hypothesis is a pseudo-historical conspiracy theory proposed by Heribert Illig in 1991, claiming that 290 years, AD 614 to 911, never happened and were fabricated by Holy Roman Emperor Otto III and Pope Sylvester II to make their reign align with the year 1000. Illig argued that medieval documents were forged, calendars were manipulated, and even Charlemagne never existed. Historians overwhelmingly reject the theory because astronomical events like eclipses, Chinese records, Islamic history, and archaeological dating all contradicted and confirmed these centuries did occur. So historians reject the idea that it did not exist. So yes, this is fiction. No evidence supports these missing centuries. Never heard of these stories, but I learn something new and different every day. All right, on to our What's the Word? Yesterday, we started reading the Bible in a year, and we had Genesis chapters 1 through 3, and Matthew chapter 1. So the summaries for Genesis chapter 1 is God creates the heavens, earth, animals, and humanity, declaring creation, quote unquote, very good. Chapter 2 focus shifts on to Adam, Eve, and the Garden of Eden and humanity's purpose. And 3, the serpent deceives Eve, Adam disobeys, and sin enters the world, leading to separation from God. So the theme yesterday in Genesis was creation, purpose, temptation, and the first promise of redemption. Matthew chapter 1 summary is Matthew traces Jesus's genealogy from Adam to Joseph, establishing his legal right to the throne of David. The chapter ends with the angel announcing Jesus's birth to Joseph. So that theme was Jesus is the fulfillment of prophecy. So question, what major event in Genesis 3 changes the course of human history? Answer, the fall. Adam and Eve's disobedience introduces sin into the world. So today's scripture readings will be from Genesis 4 to 6 and Matthew chapter 2. Tomorrow we will give summaries and have a small quiz question. All right, on to our tech tip of the day. Protect your email with DMARC, SPF, and DKIM authentication. So AI generating phishing emails are expected to surge in 2026, making email authentication essential. So what are these email security terms and what do they stand for? So DMARC stands for Domain-Based Message Authentication, Reporting, and Conformance. The DMARC is an email authentication protocol that tells receiving mail servers what to do when an email fails, SPF or DKIM checks. Deliver it, quarantine it, or reject it. So you don't even realize you get some emails and some you don't. SPF stands for Sender Policy Framework. The SPF is a system that leads a domain list which mail servers are allowed to send email on its behalf, helping prevent spoofing. And DKIM is Domain Keys Identified Mail. DKIM uses cryptographic signatures to verify that an email truly came from the domain it claims it came from and that it wasn't altered in transit. So these three verify that emails claiming to be from you actually come from you, blocking spoofing and impersonation. So if you own a domain, enable your DMARC in your DNS settings. Make sure your SPF and DKIM are configured through your email provider and use your provider's email authentication dashboard to confirm compliance. AI-powered phishing is becoming nearly indisguisable from real messages. Authentication protects your brand, your inbox, and your contacts from fraud. All right, so on to our finance tip of the day. Grand Rising, Gemini, Grand Rising, Ashe. All right, our tip for today in finance is prepare for 2026 tax law changes, especially tip and overtime deductions. So new 2026 tax rules allows workers to deduct up to $25,000 in tips earned before December 31st, and seniors get enhanced deductions. So a new tax law, OBBBA, includes a no tax on tips deduction up to $25,000, a new senior deduction of $6,000 per person or $12,000 per couple, updated rules for overtime income as well. So how to use this? Track all tip income accurately. Review your modified adjusted gross income to confirm eligibility. And seniors should verify whether their income qualifies for the enhanced deduction. These deductions can significantly reduce your taxable income, but only if you document earnings correctly. Financial planners emphasize tracking and reporting to avoid IRS issues. All right, our fun fact of the day is scientists identified a new color humans can't see without technology. Researchers announced the discovery of a new color called Olo, visible only with technological assistance. Olo exists outside the range of human photoreceptors. Only 5 people can have seen it using specialized equipment, describing it as a teal-like glow. It challenges what we think we know about human perception and opens new doors in optics, display technology, and neuroscience. All right, our fun holiday of the day today is Bean Day. Bean Day celebrates one of the world's most nutritious and versatile foods, beans of all kinds. Beans are rich in protein, fiber, and minerals, and they play a major role in global diets. The day encourages people to cook with beans, try new recipes, and appreciate their cultural significance. Beans are affordable, sustainable, and environmentally friendly. They support heart health, reduce food costs, and help lower carbon footprints, making them a powerful food for both health and the planet. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I'm going to keep that one to myself. All right, on to our daily quote. Our daily quote today comes from Denzel Washington, and I quote, "Ease a greater threat to progress than hardship." Let me repeat that. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Denzel flips the script. Comfort, not struggle, is the real danger. When life gets too easy, we stop stretching, learning, and evolving. Hardship forces growth. It pushes us to innovate, adapt, and rise. Ease, on the other hand, can lull us into stagnation. Denzel's message is a wake-up call. Don't fear the challenge, fear the comfort zone. Progress lives, on the other hand, progress lives, progress lives, on the other side of pressure. All right, on to our music and entertainment. Today, Bob Marley, One Love, arrives on Netflix January 12th. According to Essence, the acclaimed biopic Bob Marley, One Love, starring Kingsley Ben-Adir, hits Netflix on January 12th, 2026. The film explores Marley's rise, activism, and global influence. Bob Marley remains one of the most influential Black musicians in history. Making this film widely accessible on Netflix introduces his story to a new generation and expands global appreciation for reggae culture. All right, in celebrity gossip, Joe Budden calls Diddy's son's Zeus docu-series a horrible idea. Joe Budden is stirring up headlines again, this time criticizing the upcoming Zeus docuseries featuring Christian and Justin Combs, calling it a horrible idea after watching the trailer. The Combs family has been under intense public scrutiny, and Budden's commentary has social media debating whether the show will help or hurt their image. All right, on to our celebrity birthdays. We have a few. First up, we got Tiffany Pollard. If y'all know her as New York on, what was it? I Love New York, and what was that? I can't remember the other one with y'all know who I'm talking about. Age 40, she's 44 today. We also have Jameis Winston, NFL quarterback. He's 32. And we have rapper and songwriter Polo G. He's 27. We have Gilbert Urenis, former NBA star and media personality. He's 44. Mike Jones, rapper and actor, is 45. Asante Samuel is a former NFL cornerback. He is 45. And Ndamukin So, NFL defensive lineman, is 39. Also, we have Kathy Sledge, founding member of Sister Sledge, is 67. John Singleton, film director, screenwriter, producer, actor, and more. He is 58 today. And last but not least, we have Peter Guns, rapper, who is 57. All right, on to our lifestyle segment. We have soul food recipe of the day is collard greens with smoked turkey and paired with beverage of cinnamon mint iced water. Ginger mint, iced water. It aids digestion, and refreshes the palate. All right, men, your health tip today is improve sleep hygiene. Better sleep equals better hormones, energy, and focus. Your fashion tip today is a lightweight bomber jacket, perfect for winter to spring transition, which is going to be for a little while because winter is hitting hard in a lot of places. All right, women's health and beauty tip, hydration boost, 8 cups plus electrolytes. Hydrated skin equals glowing skin. So electrolytes help balance energy and reduce fatigue. Women's fashion tip today, statement earrings. Bold hoops or geometric shapes elevate even simple outfits. Our household chore of the day is clean out those refrigerator shelves, remove old items, wipe spills, and sanitize surfaces. I will definitely be doing this today because I'm one of those people, like on that commercial where it says expired, expired, expired. I hate stuff in my refrigerator that's expired. So we're getting rid of those things today. All right, Auto Mechanics 101 tip for women. Learn your dashboard warning signal lights, ladies. Yellow of course, is caution. Red, immediate action. And these things prevent expensive repairs. So learn all those little lights and what's going on your dashboard. So anything that's red needs immediate attention, no matter what. Have it checked out. All right, relationship tips for couples today. Share one thing you appreciate about your partner today. Friendships, set a coffee date with your friend you've been meaning to see. And family, declutter one shared space together. Teamwork builds unity. All right, we are doing a new thing here in under the lifestyle segment. I have something called Street 101, Lessons from the Concrete. So, welcome to Street 101, real wisdom for real life. Today, we're breaking down the differences between respected and being feared. So, the scenario is a dude is in the neighborhood walking around yelling and threatening and intimidating everybody. Folks move about out of his way, but nobody trusts him. Nobody warns him when danger's coming, and nobody shows up when he needs help. So, fear, let me see how I can say this on screen right. Fear gets you silence. Respect gets you support. So, respect is built on consistency, fairness, and self-control. Fear is built on intimidation, and intimidation always collapses when pressure hits. So, are people responding to who you are or what they're scared you might do? So, yeah, that was the best one, best scenario I can give on that one politically. But there's also, let's say, two people. So, let's say two people are grinding. One is building a business with a plan, the other is struggling with overdue bills, borrowing money, putting out fires. Same word, completely different realities. So, a hustle builds, survival drains. Survival mode is temporary. So if you stay in it too long, you burn out before you have a breakthrough. A real hustle has structure, strategy, and sustainability. So are you building something or are you just not trying to drown? So ask yourself them two questions today. I did it correctly, I think. All right, before they were legends, Muhammad Ali, the fighter with a voice. Before he was the greatest, Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay, a young boxer from Louisville who trained with unmatched discipline and spoke with unmatched fire. His refusal to fight in Vietnam made him a global symbol of conviction. He didn't just fight in the ring, he fought for truth. So that was about Muhammad Ali before he was, well, Cassius Clay before he was Muhammad Ali. So just so you get to know, that's like just someone you get to know before they were as famous as they are, who they really were. All right, on to our daily horoscope. Aries, you're pushing harder again. Your drive is real, but your body needs to rest. So today, do a 10-minute full body stretch or a quick yoga flow. Your lucky numbers today are 4, 16, and 28. Taurus, comfort is calling, and today it's okay to answer it. Take a long, warm bath or shower and moisturize slowly, not rushing. Your lucky numbers today are 7, 18, and 25. Gemini, your mind is racing. Information overload is real today. So put your phone down for at least 1 minute, put your phone down for at least one uninterrupted hour. Let your brain breathe. Your lucky numbers today are 3, 14, and 29. Cancer, you're craving emotional safety. Pour into your own cup first. Self-care today is cook or order a comforting, nourishing meal and eat it without distractions. Your lucky numbers today are 2, 11, and 27. Leo, you want to be seen, but you also need to feel seen by yourself. Your self-care today is do something creative. dance, sing, paint, or record a video just for you. Your lucky numbers today are 1, 19, and 33. Virgo, your mind is listing, organizing, and sorting everything. Your self-care today is declutter one drawer, shelf, or folder. Small order brings big relief. Your lucky numbers today are 5, 12, and 30. Libra, you're sensitive to tension and imbalance around you. Your self-care today is light a candle, play some soft music, and meditate or breathe deeply for 5 minutes. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 15, and 24. Scorpio, emotions run deeper than you're saying out loud. Self-care today is journal 3 pages of uncensored thoughts. Don't edit, just release. Your lucky numbers today are 8, 20, and 31. Sagittarius, you're restless and ready for a change of scenery. Your self-care for today is take a solo walk or drive with your favorite playlist. Let your mind roam. Your lucky numbers today are 10, 22, and 34. Capricorn, you're focused on output, but your inner battery is dipping. Your self-care for today is set one small, realistic goal and one non-negotiable rest block today. Lucky numbers for you are 13, 26, and 35. Aquarius, your thoughts are loud. You need a creative outlet. Your self-care today is listen to music that lifts you, or make a playlist that matches your mood. Your lucky numbers today are 9, 17, and 28. And Pisces, your spirit is tender and easily drained right now. So today, your self-care is drink more water than usual, and go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Your lucky numbers for today are 6, 21, and 32. All right. At this time, I would like to thank our sponsors. Shout out to Bello Burn Hot Sauce, Bold Taste, Big Kick. Bello Burn keeps the city spicy. RAS Herbals, natural remedies, real results. RAS Herbals keeps the community grounded. Colorane Candles, soft light, strong energy. Colorane Candles elevates every space. And Universal Madness, style with a statement. Universal Madness keeps the culture fitted. All right, in our announcements today, we have tonight is Kickback with Cookie with special guest Pandora at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Lux Radio Network on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and Twitch. And that's a wrap on this Tuesday. Protect your peace, honor your boundaries, and celebrate the small wins. They matter more than you think. Keep your spirit light and your heart open. Tomorrow we rise again, same time, same energy. So until tomorrow morning, my kings and queens, this is your girl Mel B saying stay looking fly, stay grounded in your own truth, and don't let nobody tilt your crown. Period.